Hello, John. What kind of baits are you building or painting right now? AJ, what's up, you damn shad painting rock crawler son of a buck? More square bills. Hard to complain about square bills. Give the people what they want, John. More square bills. Squirbles. I've never really dabbled in like 10 plus feet wood lure crankbaiting. Builder dude, what's up? Maybe that's the Halloween special, Jeremy. One big giant swimming eyeball. Veins going down the side. And I'll just stick one big giant pupil right there on the cheek. Suck it, AJ. Nightmare Before Christmas? Nah. Just wait till the eyeball goes viral. And you'll be saying, son of a bitch. Tackle shit. Tackle crap. I'm just kidding. Not making an eyeball. Good, though. Good. I'm about to dot eyeballs, though. On Builder Dude stuff. For Epic Dude. Way too much paint. Almost had an overflow. Are we frozen? It's really quiet again. I feel like, oh, okay, John, I was beginning to worry that, there's Daryl's here. We can continue. I got that weird, creepy silence. Builder Dude does some Builder Dude stuff. Correct. Oh. I didn't pick up a lighter at the store, did I? Had to get the backup now tuned. Blew up the other one. You blew up the Nightmare Before Christmas prototype? The backup bow tuned. You blew up your bow? I didn't know you were such a archery dude. These eyes aren't nearly big enough. They'll do. I need bigger eyes. I need them to take half the bait up. I need gigantic eyes. I don't have a drill bit big enough. I need John Pryor size eyes, is what I'm getting at. Not his human eyes, his bait eyes. Pryor paints real big eyes. Woke up not a billionaire. Guess what? Me too. But we're here painting crankbaits, trying to get there. Trying to amass my fortune. Yeah, I should just send them to Eric and let him put those stupid ass stick-on eyes on them. Since he likes them so much. Since you like them so much, Eric, Why don't you ugly up these things? Hello, Brendan. Stupid app wouldn't load. You can't stick around today. It's Heather's birthday. Well, thank you for sticking around and telling us hello. Frank, tell Heather happy birthday. I'm sure you have tons of wonderful gifts and plans for you and her. I'm sure you have lots of beautiful lures that you've ordered for her birthday, and an exquisite meal and destination you have planned for this week and maybe the weekend. I don't know. I'm down for the 1 versus 1 eyeball bait painting challenge. Are you going to paint an eyeball too? We're both going to do an eyeball? If I were to do an eyeball, I would have to go to the Hobby Lobby and buy me some more acrylic paint. Then we'll have 2 eyeballs. There can only be one. There can only be one. What's up, South Jersey? You didn't respond to my comment last night on Brendan's stream about you dipping your cinnamon rolls in vegetable soup. I got the biggest kick out of that to myself. No response. It's a little like Sloth from the Goonies, probably. Probably will. Those are epic shads. They are. Whatever this really nice color is called. I mean, beautiful, nice color. Demon Eyes. Don't want to summon any spirits with eyes too evil. I'll leave those for AJ. I'll let AJ do the demon eyes and do the possession eyes, and I will do dazed and confused eyes, or half baked eyes, or Cheech and Chong eyes. I'm still disappointed in Mang saying that Corrado is overrated. I don't know how you can say it's overrated. I mean, it's priced decently. It's on the upper end of, being out of a lot of ranges, but it's a good price reel. I wouldn't say it's good priced, but it's, considering the usage that you'll get out of it, it's a fair price to pay. I'm one of those people that can definitely would rather pay up for a reel that I will keep for a long time comparative to a rod that I don't see as a long-term keeper. But the main difference to me is that in 10 or 15 years, Nobody's looking for old Luz. Nobody's looking for old Quantums. Nobody's looking for any of those old pieces of shit because they were mediocre when they came out, and they're mediocre now, and the future ones will be mediocre too. There's a reason people continue to sell their Corrado E's for $150 or $130 or $120 or whatever. That's pretty good when you can buy a reel for $169, $175, and then keep it for 10 years and turn around and sell it for $40 less than what you paid for it. You can typically find parts for them. That's handy. Um, I've never tried to find parts for like, other kind of reels, but I would assume that there wouldn't be as easy to find. Um, so, um, yeah, like the 200 Corrados, the tanks, they're still badass reels, dude. Like they're still relevant. Like if that, I don't know. Hello, Nasty Nate. I think he meant more the fact that everyone and their mom has a Corrado, so technically it's not underrated, the definition of the word. I don't know. I mean, I guess all of these debates, any of them, we can solve them right now. It's pretty easy. All of this shit is all a matter of what you're you're looking to get out of your fishing experience. If you want to go throw uh, a $300 riddle bait balsa lure in a pond on a $1,000 megabass combo, go for it. If that's like your thing. Are you better than me? No. Are you better at fishing a crankbait than other people? No. Are you like, it doesn't mean like it just, you know what I mean? It's like whatever. If you're like a tournament dude, or if you're one of those guys that breaks off a bunch of bait, buying expensive baits doesn't make sense for you. So, uh, if you're I don't know, if you're influenced by, pro fishermen, then, lose probably good for you. Whatever. I don't know. Not to say everybody that uses lose was influenced by a pro fisherman, but I don't know. I always liked Shimano's because felt like they were easier to work on and they were durable. That was basically all I needed. Probably not the smoothest reels I've ever felt, but at the end of the day, what do I care? You know what I mean? Like I don't need the finest tuned reel to go do what I do. So uh, for somebody to be like, oh, it's a decent reel compared to what? Like, what do you possibly need? The smallest, like finest tuned reel for, besides that you just can afford it and it feels good. Like whatever. Um, I think the Corrado that's underrated is the 300H and the J. What is the H? Is that the big? Is that the E but the heavy one that had the old frame? Corrado 300H. Yeah, those weren't. Those were never, for whatever reason, those never caught on. They were heavy. Um, they were, to me, they were a little clunky. Um, I've got the which ones do I have? Where's all my junk reels? Here's one. These are the 100Ds. These were pretty popular. That was a pretty good reel for light things. Um, for some reason, I have braid on both of these, which is interesting. But I have another 100D out in Austin with my buddy Jeff. I need to get it back from him because I know he's not bass fishing. But they're tough. I like the 100Ds, pretty good. This was like a poor man's 50 mg Cronarch. But yeah, these were good reels. So but the 300, the big boy, it was. I know a lot of guys like it for swim baiting. Yeah, the hundred size were good. The thing, I just tried these back in the day just to see if I'd like them, because I had a 50 mg Cronarch that I really liked. Not the most durable for what I used it for. I swam a jig on it, and I think I ruined a gear set. But I sent it to um, Hill Country Reel Repair. Forget the guy's name, but he was a former Shimano tech. So he worked in California at Shimano, moved to Texas, right outside of Austin, and the dude I called him and I was like, "Hey, I got a 50 mg that really sounds like ass. I think it's got something real wrong with it." And he was like, "Send it to me." So I sent it to him. He's like, "Well, they don't make parts for these anymore." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Is there anything you can like farm a part off of, like another reel that would have a similar gear set in it or something?" He was like, "Maybe." And the dude called me like weeks later. This one needs the screws tightened up. It's a little loosey. Things coming apart. But he called me a couple weeks later and said, "Got your reel fixed." I was like, "Sweet." So he sent it back to me. Charged me like $50. I was like, "What'd you do?" He's like, "Oh, I made a gear set for it." I was like, "You did what?" He's like, I took another set of gears out of something else, and then I had to retool them to fit your reel." I like that. And he was very, very good with Shimano reels. So if I had to send reels to somebody, he would be the guy, specifically Shimano's. But Scorpions, I love. That's what I. That's what I crank on is a Scorpion. This isn't a crankbait, but the 1.5 is nasty, Bob. Shimano Scorpion. Scorpions are legit. I haven't looked on eBay lately to see if there's any cheap Scorpions floating around. I mean, I don't know really how reels have advanced in the last, like, since the E series. I'm sure the tolerances are just tighter. I really don't know what's that much different that would like be that much better than just deciding you wanted to spend a bunch of money and reel, because that's what I would have to do. Like when I decide E's are no longer good enough, I'm gonna have to buy 20 Corrados. That's gonna be expensive. Um, but a totally different gear that does what differently? Stronger, lighter. New bait alert from 6 Cents, according to my email. Um, for more torque and less wear. I don't think I need that for bass fishing. Monster Drive. Swim bait fishing, I could see that making a good, like if you're throwing real heavy baits, but shit, I do. Is that what Wayne's made for swim baits? Is that what Wayne is hawking? The Scorpion MD. Let's look that thing up. Scorpion MD Shimano. I mean, wasn't that what the Tranks was for? Why did it doesn't seem like it's lighter. That seems stupid. If you ask me. The guy with the 8-foot rod and the lobbing the damn half-pound lure out. He needs a few ounces shed off of his reel. Jeremy, no, I don't have a specific native gill set up. I just throw it on some like a 765 Powell. Much smoother. I could see that. I heard people complain about the Tranks were kind of wonky. I always thought the Tranks looked cool, but never owned one. I saw one that was real cheap one day on Swimbait Universe. I was like, man, I'm gonna buy that thing. Dude wanted like $100 for it. The Lew's Super Duty. I know is that the one that they got rid of? That everybody wants. There's one Lew's that was like the first generation that they came out with it, and I know guys seek out that reel, that swim bait. It might be the Super Duty. I don't remember which one. I don't know jack shit about Lew's reels, except the BBs from back in the day, and I used to find them at yard sales and sell them on eBay to old crankers of the Carolinas. Do you still have that reel, Nasty Nate? Were you Nasty Nate? Were you able to part with your baits you had for sale? Did you get any nibblers? Lose 300 for swim baiting has been awesome. There you go. That must be the one. That must be the one. Like my buddy used to have, like when we were in like middle school, I had I had I had a I think I'd saved up and bought that Calcutta, and my buddy had this Quantum, and he was like, "This thing will outcast that that Calcutta." It's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, this thing will spool up with a half-ounce rattle trap," and it's like, okay, and he wasn't lying, dude. He tied on a half ounce rattle trap and was like, "Watch this," and they just kept going. I was like, "Holy shit!" And it was pretty impressive. But at the end of the season, his Quantum was like the jankiest sounding reel you've ever seen in your life. Like the thing was falling apart, and the old Calcutta kept on ripping. Still got it. Still got my first Calcutta. It's in another room. Um, Antares MD. Is that what you swim bait with, Brendan? That sounds. It's got the Mega Drive too, apparently. A lot of Mega. Might be too Mega for me. Let me look at this. Let me look at this spaceship. Why don't they make some normal names that are like pronounceable? Oh, that's a nice looking reel. They didn't make it look like the Calais or whatever that one was that looked like the rocket ship from that 80s spaceship movie. That's a nice looking reel. Very sleek. Um, the Tranks is smooth and has insane power. Well, that's good. It seems like a couple people badmouthed them, and dudes just started dumping them. I probably should have picked one up and given it a whirl. Let's see if there's any used ones on the bay. Tranks. What about the 200 would be appropriate? There's a Shimano Tranks 200 HG. Works great. $120. That's pretty good, I would think. I would think that would be a pretty good price. I wonder what it was used for. I don't know what the spool capacity is of the 200. Lightly used, but works perfectly. Light wear and tear as per the pics. MD reels are also made for peacock bass that will spool you on a normal reel. Seems very niche for Shimano. There's another Tranks 150. So if you wanted to get one of those, it seems like they're out there. Seems like the handle area gets messed up on the Tranks and they become sloppy, especially when you're using heavy ass baits. I've seen it with almost every musky guy. That may not be completely due to the baits. I would think that would be mainly due to the fish being real big or bigger than what your average bass would be, but they're catching less fish, just bigger ones. I don't know. I don't know which does worse to a reel, catching more smaller fish or less bigger fish as far as wear goes. Um, I've had the same bands like a sports car compared to the Ambassador 5000. That's what I learned with Scott. The Red 5000. Actually, I didn't learn. That was my first reel my dad bought me was a Boo 5000. It was red. Uh, and I didn't realize it that like if you were a bass fisherman, you used the like 4500s or like the small framed ones. That's what Hank Parker was using. I never realized it until later, and I was like, damn, oh, I had the wrong gear. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with the. Oh, have fun, Brendan. Um, that was the other thing I was thinking about. I was reading something about. I was reading a swim bait post, and it was specifically about baits and rods and actions and gear around swim baits, and that I don't think it's completely like I still think it's the Wild West as far as that's concerned. Because if you compare setups, like if you're trying to get the best out of something, or if you're trying to experiment with uh, just everything involved with a swim bait, when you compare it to like trying to get set up for throwing a Cinco, you can go out there and you can catch a lot of fish quickly. So you know what you need, how you want it, this, that, whatever. You have the learning curve is a lot quicker. With swim baiting, the numbers aren't typically there. So there's the majority, like when you compare numbers of swim bait fish caught comparative to numbers of conventional fish caught, and the like thought that goes into tailoring gear towards whatever it may be, there hasn't probably been that many fish caught to decipher what is necessary. Like there's still a lot. I think there's still a lot to learn as far as that goes. Um, um, the Red 5000 is what Grandpa handed me when I was about 5. I was handed a 5500 in the surf of the Gulf of Mexico. And I learned the first time how to throw a bait caster standing in the surf on a sandbar, kind of, not even really a sandbar, just standing out there in the waves. Uh, and I think there was like a tropical storm coming in or something, and we were down there dicking around at my dad's buddy's beach house and fishing before this storm. And I wanted to throw a bait caster, and I just sat out there with like a damn egg sinker in the water and like tried to cast. And I was casting into the wind and into the surf, so uh, a couple hours of that, I was pretty good with a bait caster because it was probably the worst conditions you could ever ask for to learn how to use a bait caster. Um, Scott, I think we have some of those too. They weren't. Did they come in a fancy leather box? It had like the snap over the top. We got a boo reels all over the place back home at my parents' house. There's tons of them. Um, Caught probably 25 fish on my battle shad, 7.5. Nose has not blown out, no major rips or tears. That's good. That's positive. Bob, it seems like to me, I don't know if we have any experts in that area, but it seems like to me, the South American Amazon peacock, giant peacocks, they don't have as many anymore. And I think when I talked to somebody about it, and they said that it was like some of the places they used to fish like became private or something, or like where the big ones live or something. I don't know, but you don't hear or see much of the big giant peacocks that they like back in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, still have the scorpion, and no, didn't even get a sniff on from anyone wanting to buy those baits. I think they were priced fairly. I think the color on the Eon probably threw that one off. The KGB, I think everybody's just got one. It seems like I don't know. I don't think it was a price deal. And it's post gathering, so everybody probably got, not everybody, but you know what I mean. The spenders spent. That's the beautiful thing about the rat brain, Bob. Nobody can remember any names, but the rat brain sticks. Tom, hello. Been in the garage fixing the pedal on a 12-volt, 54-pound thrust motor guide tour. Tom, I couldn't tell you how many times I've stepped through one of those old plastic housing motor guide trolling motors where you step on it and it just goes boom, and then it starts flopping. And you broke the runners for the cable, or the cable broke, or something broke. I've done that too many times I want to count. It's the worst feeling in the world, dude. Especially when you like just get fishing and you like put the trolling motor over and then you step on the trolling motor and it goes falls flat and then it's just sitting there flopping. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. And then you say, I'm screwed. They need to have back in the day they needed to have some sort of like auxiliary steer where you could like hook a Bigfoot up to the, or one of those like handheld things, you could like hook it up to the shaft of the trolling motor and then like hand steer it, because everything works. That would save your day. That would be great. Surprised nobody built that back in the day. Because I mean, I guess you could have run one of those. You could have run both of them, right? Like if I wanted a backup for my pedal braking, I could have just put one of those handles on, and then just used the button on the floppy pedal and steered it with the hand thing. That would have been smart. Yeah, I remember they exploded for a while. People catching them in drains. Paint is not drying fast. It needs to dry faster. But maybe I'd like to see the peacocks come back. Like I really don't want to go to South America to go catch like a damn 4-pounder. You know what I mean? But they do have those all those other fish down there. Big, they get big. So I guess they kind of they could tease you with that. Might not catch a big peacock. We can catch one of these other big serpents. But I don't know. The Amazon really doesn't like it was on my bucket list for years, like growing up in like middle school, high school. It's like I want to go to South America. I want to catch a big peacock. Um, and the older I've gotten, the smaller the fish have gotten, the less interesting it's become. Oh, Dustin, that's nice. John B. Amazon vid was pretty good. That wolfish he caught was a tank. I have to watch John's. I like John's videos. I like how they're edited. They're very uh, movie like. The cinematography is wonderful. A pleasure to watch. The one he did over there at that lake in Louisiana, that was incredible. Um, Dustin, are you going to get to go rip on some bass with them this weekend? You're not screwed when that happens. All you need is some rope. Tie a loop at the end of the rope around the shaft, and depending on the boat cleats, run through a cleat and throw it over your shoulder. Never seen or heard of anybody doing that. Never seen or heard of anybody doing that. Oh, 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 oh. Is it dot time? No. I guess I could sign. No, my pen's out in the other room. Oh well. Have you seen prop cages before? Why don't more people use them when running boats in woody areas? Prop cages? Is it like a literal cage that goes over your prop? Let's look these up. South Jersey, where do you find all this shit, dude? Prop guards for outboard motors? Max Prop Saver. I can tell you one reason. As dumb as it may sound, it'd make you look like a bitch. Like they just look dumb. Like as much sense and money as it would save you from dicking up your prop, like I don't know, pulling your boat. I feel like you would not that not that anybody should care that I would care, but I didn't even know they existed. But it would just pulling my boat out of the water and looking at a cage on my outboard would just not look right. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, dude, look at that. I got a bitch ass boat, dude. It just make me feel weird. I don't want to feel weird. I want to feel glad. But if they could sleek them up a little bit, and I mean, here's an idea, South Jersey. Why couldn't Mercury or Yamaha build it into the lower unit and make it one piece? Then they wouldn't sell as many props, I guess. Interesting. I think they could certainly throw everybody a bone and encapsulate and protect our lower units and our props. Uh, Idea: make jet conversion keys cheaper. Certainly, jet drives are the shit. They're just a hell of a lot of maintenance. They would lose money on lower units, maybe. Maybe. The I think if you're a I think if you're a preventative maintenance guy and you're real organized, jet drives are great. If you're a guy like me that doesn't like changing my uh, lower unit oil every so many hours on the nuts, I hit the number, I walk out there and I change my lower unit oil. I'm not that guy. So me and jet drives would not get along because they require some maintenance. That guy out in Austin, Carson, I don't know what he goes by now. He used to be Conklin's Bass Tours or Conklin's Fishing Adventures, something like that. But he's changed it. I think he's like Fish ATX now or ATX Fishing or something like that. But he had a jet drive, fished through Lower Colorado. That place was nuts. Looking at the fishing and boating, it's got me leaning to an aluminum boat with a jet drive and fishing rivers and get away from the lakes. Yeah, just get a. You could get a tunnel hole and run a prop, which would be cool. That's probably what I would do. Maybe if I were shopping, but it'd probably be cheaper to just get a aluminum with a jet. I like aluminum. I got an aluminum rig out there that needs a new bottom put in it. There's a dude in Louisiana that told me he'd do it for pretty damn cheap. I'm just gonna get him. Like we tried to patch it up, and I was like, this is a waste of time. Like I'll drag it over to Louisiana. Dude will throw a bottom in it for $500. That's what he does. 10-footer. I used to have a 10-footer that I would drag duck hunting. My trailer was the ground. I would tie the front to the ball of my truck and I would drag it down the road and then I would push it in the water. Jeremy's turning into Buka over there. He wants to sit low, lob his swim baits around, catch big stripers. 10-foot I was never a huge fan of. Even 12 was pushing it. To me, a 14 was a good sized aluminum boat. 10 was so wobbly I could never I couldn't even bend over to stand up to pee in a 10-footer, 12-footer without it ooh. But you can drag them around easy. They're light, kind of light. I don't know what the perfect size rig is. 30 to 60. That is big. That's real big. Never seen one of those. I got a big one on the wall here that I wrestled on a Booger Man buzzbait. 10-pound test. Y'all want to see it? And a Zebco. And my big old bass. Just kidding, I didn't catch either of those. Got me a 12-foot aluminum dinghy I drop in places where I can't get my boat. Smart to have one of those. I have a 12-foot Sun Dolphin, but it's in Mass. Bob, you need to go get that thing, dude. It's probably frozen over now. South Jersey, you need to. If you were down here, you could find you a jet ski trailer for real cheap, and you could just go grab you a jet ski trailer and throw it on there, and you'd be off to the races. Dad probably sold it. You're gonna drive all the way to Massachusetts and be like, "I'm here for my boat." What boat? Mm, my 12-foot boat. My Sun Dolphin. It's like, oh, that shit's been going for 4 years. I'm like, well, great. My dad did that with something. What was it? What was it? Might have been. We had like an old like a '72 International Scout that set up at our fishing camp. Remember, I showed up one day and said, "Where's the Scout?" He's like, "Oh, I sold that shit 3 years ago." Like, what? Like, yeah, I traded it for some. I never. He told. I think he told me he sold it, or somebody was working on it. There was some vague story. And I asked my mom like a week ago. I was like, "Whatever happened to the Scout?" And she asked my dad, and he's like, "Oh, I traded it for tree work." Like, oh, that's a fair trade. And once you get into striper fishing, you almost forget about everything else. Like, yeah, stripers goes on. Probably wouldn't bass fish. Stripers that good, huh? Tomorrow is going to be Hinkle Day. I got lots of Hinkles to paint. Andrew must be sending out the Hinkles. He must be filling orders because I get I get bombarded all at once. People in their Hinkles. My dad sold my best squirrel dog. What a dick. It's not like you can go get another one of those. You can go get another dog. You can't get the best one. It's like I'm getting low on black. Uh, Bob said you can have that striper shit. My thing with bass fishing is I love bass fishing lures. That's what keeps me. That's what's not appealing about every other type of fishing. Like stripers, they might pull hard. I don't. If I want to go catch something that pulls hard, I'll go catch a damn amberjack. Uh, I don't like that. That to me isn't that appealing. Uh, Bass fishing, I've always stuck around bass fishing, obviously, because I love bass lures, which is the majority of the appeal of like going saltwater fishing and like if you're like catching trout or redfish, like it really doesn't throb me up to sit around and be like, oh, what mirror lure do I want to throw, or what colored grub do I want to throw, or like it's not the same. There's just something about that old bass. There's just something about the damn bass. Stinky old bass. Looks like we're going big pupils on these. Moving water, that's something I don't care for. Ooh, that's ugly. Salt is not my favorite. It's a pain in the ass. In my opinion. Just a lot of work. Go out there, get your brains beat in. Get some little ass stiff rod. You equate my fishing to using a bobber and catching sunfish, pretty much. I've never been like, I don't know. If you're gonna like, give me a backwater with no current and like this much water and like weeds and wood over current any day. I just don't like current at all. Like all the years I was getting my ass kicked on the Coosa by guys fishing below the dams, I would never go up there because the current freaked me out. Like I just didn't. And maybe I had this like thing in the back of my mind where I was gonna like fall in and get sucked under or something. But I never cared for it. Never cared for it. Give me the heebie-jeebies. These are epic shads. Shark fishing in the surf at night. I can see that being fun. Like for one time. South Jersey, you getting some of these? Are you gonna get an epic shed so you can not be fearful to throw it? So you have a backup? If any of y'all visit at the right time, I'll take anyone. Are you close to the Atlantic? Damn, and that one. I guarantee you this one's getting red hooks. I can't speak for the others. They probably will too. Well, what about royal shad? Am I gonna have to beg Eric? I don't know if you're gonna have to beg him. You shouldn't have to beg him. But what you will have to deal with is limited availability, because Eric's liable to keep the majority of every color and then sell one of each. I cut that gill today. Looks pretty nice. For whatever reason, I was like, you know what? Let's cut a gill out for this thing. So, got the old razor piece out. Went to hacking. Spoiler alert. Chartreuse Classic. That's not a true Chartreuse Classic. A true Chartreuse Classic would have which you can't see it, but a true Chartreuse Classic would have a goldy bronze that goes over the shoulder that the green lays over the top of. This doesn't have that. This just has green over yellow. It was a drip bait picture. So later, Nasty Nate. Eric just sent Kyle an email and said he didn't want them. Send them to Kyle. Fair enough. All yours, Kyle. You can distribute them on Largemouth Crush next Monday, where you're the co-host. Black bone chrome, like black body with a chrome bone stencil. No, I don't have a bone stencil. And I don't really like chrome paint because I feel like I've had adhesion issues with it. Clear coat not wanting to stick to it. Cross between Classic and Homer. I reckon. It's nice looking bait. It's a lot of yellow. Big and yellow. Should piss one off. So those will get cleared tomorrow. Kyle, let's go. It's going. Can't complain. About to leave and go pick up the babies. Beans at Nance. I'll go pick. I might be able to. Dustin, hope and glad you like the Roadkill root beer. That one should be good. Ooh, I got a Sticker Mule order. My order arrived today. Thank you, Anthony, co-founder of Sticker Mule. Well, be tuned for some stickers. I'm still considering doing I know it's a little late, but I'm still considering doing a Halloween themed shirt. But I can't make my mind up on what direction I want to go. And I don't know how many. I need to talk to the drawer guy and see how long it would take. If it would take him longer than 7 days, and then I would have to be pushing it. Let me know. Let me know if you get to ripping on them things, Dustin. All right, dudes. Good talking to everybody. I'm gonna get out of here and see if I can go pick up the bean. I'll have to call the mama and say I got her. Y'all be good. Take it easy. See you later.